Hello, everyone. Miguel Pagan, um, coming to you from our channel, Real Estate Dwellers. And I wanted to take a few minutes this afternoon and record a video of a topic that's pretty dear to my heart, and I'm sure is a topic of great importance to most real estate agents. And for the purpose of this video, we're going to call this the top 5 mistakes that sellers make. Um, it's unfortunate, but there are times when maybe if it happens once or twice a year, you get a phone call from a prospective seller and you go over and meet with them and you present, build value, and they don't list with you. And a couple of days later, you find out that they listed with XYZ. Now, maybe that's our fault. Maybe we didn't present well enough to help them arrive at the correct decision of choosing us. But sometimes we don't know the reason, and they go and list with someone else and make some of these mistakes we're going to talk about. And fortunately for a lot of them, they're able to come back. We're able to list them, get them on the market, and get them sold. But some individuals get frustrated after making some of these mistakes, and they just leave the market and just stay put. So we're going to call this the top 5 mistakes that sellers make. Mistake number 1. Now, this one I have to admit is counterintuitive. Mistake number 1 is that they call a real estate office. Yeah. Now, common sense will tell you, right, that if you're thinking about selling, what are you to do? You call an office, they send an agent, they list your home, and you sell your home and you live happily ever after. But what a lot of sellers fail to realize is that when you call a real estate office, most of the times, I will say 99% of the times, you're not getting a top producer. You're not getting even an average producer, because the arrangement that most of these offices have is that the person manning the phones is a real estate agent that has signed up for something that we call floor time, opportunity time, etc. And what that entails is that person has committed to spending 2 or 3 hours manning the phones, fielding every call that comes in. And on a given day, we might get 40, 50, 60, 100 calls into an office. The majority of them are real estate agents looking to set up appointments to show our listings. But every once in a while, someone will call up. They want to buy a house, or a seller wants to sell. And when that seller's calling, he's getting that person that's participating in opportunity time or floor time. And unfortunately, that is not the agent with the highest skill level in the office. Because if they were, will they really be sitting in the office for 3 hours manning the phones? So that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is they decide to list with a friend. Now, look, I'm a reasonable guy. If you say to me you have a dear friend, he sold you the house, you've bought properties from him, you have the utmost confidence in that friend, and that's the person you're going to list with, then by all means. There's nothing I'm going to say or do that's going to change that. But what about that acquaintance that you're calling a friend? So, your wife's friend, your neighbor's friend, person you happen to run into, you build a little bit of rapport, and now you're saying to me, that's my friend. Well, think about this for a minute. If you list with that person and that person is screwing up, I mean royally, they're not moving your property, could you go to that person and say, I'm going to have to make a change without affecting that friendship, even that dear friend? What if something goes wrong and you have to fire your friend? Could you do it? Mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 is they shop strictly based on commission or fees. We get that all the time. You go over, you meet with a seller, you present, build value, continue to build value. You get to the end and they say, well, you cut your commission. Will you do it for less? I have an acquaintance, a friend, family member that can do it for a lot less than you can. Well, think about it from this perspective. If after I spend an hour and a half to 2 hours with you building value and talking about my 25 items on my marketing sheet that I'm going to perform to get your home sold for more money and in less time and with the least amount of inconvenience to you. And you say to me at the end of the presentation, Miguel, will you cut your commission? And I say, okay, then how strong could I possibly be defending you and the price on your home when an offer is presented on your property? Obviously not very strong. Mistake number 4, and this is a big one. A lot of sellers make this mistake is they want to overprice their property. We sit down with them, we show them comparables, other homes that are similar to theirs in the same neighborhood, and they say, well, no, mine is worth more. And I can appreciate that. But the reality is that in any given neighborhood, properties are going to sell for the same number or close to the same number as other homes with the approximate square footage. And if your home is priced way above that, then the chances are that your property is going to sit on the market, and I'm going to have to hit you up for reduction after reduction after reduction, and you may sell for less than if we have priced the home correctly. As a matter of fact, this is a fact that if you list your home 2 to 5% under retail value, chances are you're going to get into multiple offers and your property will sell for even more. Now, mistake number 5. Mistake number 5 is they convince their agent to list for a short-term listing. And in other words, hey, Miguel, will you do it for 30 days? Will you do it for 60? Will you do it for 90? Now, the fact is that most properties in most markets are going to take a minimum of 30 to 45 days before we can generate a contract. And then I need another 40 to 45, maybe even 60 days to get you to a close. So why would I accept your property at a 30-day listing, a 60-day listing? In essence, what you're doing is you're tying up my hands from performing my duties. So there you have it. Those are just 5 of the mistakes that some sellers make in selecting their agent. Now, this is not an all-encompassing list, but is, in my opinion, the top 5 that can lead to a lot of frustration and a lot of waste of time. Once again, Miguel Pagan coming to you from Real Estate Dwellers. If you need to get a hold of me, my number is 203-650-0151. Again, it's 203-650-0151. Or you can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram.